Looks are looks.
I guess
we are live. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome. Thanks
The
to
excitement
everybody
pouring out of us.
So for those, for everybody who's just joining because we just went live, Jasmine just said she has some inside info.
Hey,
about
whoa! I can't.
I don't know.
Let's go straight to that.
Talking to the inside guy. I'm just saying.
I don't know if she can talk about it, but it was very.
But I can a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we were really hard on Sadie Sink being Mary Jane. Like you would talk to a few people, and we even those guys, I guess that you watch a lot, they were like, she's gonna be. But talking to a few people who know some people, they're pushing more towards Gwen Stacy because that's what they do, casting blondes as redheads. That's the trend, and so this is a red herring joke.
Why
in that red herring?
But why is it a trend? I don't understand.
Same thing with literally all of the.
Can Disney not do anything just like as it is? Can nobody do anything anymore as it is?
Blonde.
But it's the throw.
That's like saying the trend is casting Black Panther as an African American. Like that's the trend. Like that's just what it is. What the character is.
That's what they do. Hey man, right. I can only give you what I got, and that's what I got. Is that and when it comes out that she is Gwen Stacy and not, we'll come back to this video and be like, well, she said it here first, folks.
So you're
what is happening?
So you seem
I broke him. I think I broke him. That's all.
Because you seem to be confident. Like this doesn't seem like it's a doubt in your mind that Sadie Sink's going to be Gwen Stacy.
So how do you know?
Well, and honestly, it's when I heard it, I was shooketh. Let me just start there. Let's get the Gen Z speak out. I was a shook. However, just thinking more, I was a shook, but I think this makes in my head the puzzle pieces fit a little bit better. One, the red herring of it all, how Disney wouldn't just give. I mean, we see this with all of the leaks and spoilers. That we know that RDJ isn't just going to be Doom. There's more to the story, and we know that. I think they even had an article come out saying that his Iron Man character is dead, and that does play into the story. And people are going to be talking like it's going to be discussed in Secret Wars Doomsday. So that's not out of the odds for them to throw us off. Today. You know I don't watch his videos when they drop. You know this.
Oh,
was this talked about? Was this talked about in his video? I'll watch it right now. You guys talk.
I'll watch it right now.
Look at her. Did you talk about this today, or did you just make this?
I didn't make it. I found it online.
This is perfect.
I just found it online.
Well,
she had photo. But time out.
Yes,
time has been time. We need a pause.
So. Hello, Brandon. Hello, Robert. Hello, everybody. Nile, Galaxy. Hello. So a lot of people are kind of just joining now. Jasmine has just said that she has heard Sadie Sink is going to be playing Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 4. There's some type of a trend, she says, of casting redheads as blondes right now.
It's casting as or just like switching it. They did that for the Mary Janes. Most of the Mary Janes were originally blondes. They turned them redhead. So it throws you off on who they're playing. Just because she is redhead does not necessarily mean she's going to play a redhead.
But but what I was gonna ask right now is is she gonna be a redheaded Spider-Gwen, or will they dye her hair blonde?
No, they're gonna or wig her up. There's such good wigs out there nowadays, but I do think I think they'll wig her up for this. I don't think Sadie Sink would. Her team cannot allow them. I know I'm like speaking girl talk. Her team cannot allow them to dye her hair. That's crazy.
So that's kind of my thing is like I don't know. It's just her hair is like such a defining feature of her. Why not cast her for a character who has red hair as a defining feature like Jean Grey?
I do not want to be defined by my hair. I don't want my hair to limit me into a box. And I think that if I were going to be cast, I would much rather be cast as Gwen Stacy versus Sadie Sink. I feel like there's more that you can do as Gwen Stacy in the Spider Universe. Mary Jane, I mean, yeah, she has a few moments where she turns into, doesn't she have like the tiger suit at one point in the comics?
No, I'm talking about Jean Grey, not.
Oh, you're talking Jean Grey.
Who is arguably significantly cooler and potentially
more
important.
Well, Adam Green.
No, hold on. Spider-Gwen is like one of my favorite.
Well, when we're talking like
Ghost Spider, everything.
You're talking about somebody who's potentially going to be the face of the MCU moving forward. I feel like
exactly.
Jean Grey is a little bit more up there than Gwen Stacy. I know you might like her more, but like central role in the future of the mutant saga, I feel like Jean Grey's got to be there.
Yeah,
like we talked about last time. I really feel like Oh man.
Now we're doing it again.
I just really feel like
it's a miss.
Like, no, I don't think it's a miss. No, let me clarify. No, I don't think it's a miss. I love what I see right here. I love what I see right here. But the whole thing with this casting is I don't think she sticks around for that long. I think it looks like a one and done type of thing.
And Sony's also technically in charge of her, so who knows what they're gonna do?
Right.
And it's like,
welcome everybody. There's a lot since we started talking about this. We're probably gonna, re-say it all over and over. How's it going, guys? See, Raw Af. Honestly, I think Jean would be the best move for her. I'd love to see her as Jean because of her hair, but I also do agree with what Jasmine said. You don't want to be like stuck in a box because of your hair color, right? You can change hair color. It's like wigs, dyeing. Because I really do like what I see here. I do want Gwen Stacy to be blonde, though. I do want her to be blonde. I don't want.
I hope they don't. That. I mean, I love what they did with Zendaya. I think that was a really fun move. We do that once. Let's not make that the trend. And I don't just mean. Let me be very clear. I do not mean color. I mean hair. I would have liked. To see
I don't care about the color of her skin.
No,
but...
we're live, so I just gotta make my point.
Oh, sure.
Don't I got you. Another black person again. Like, no, I gotta make sure people aren't clicking the right things.
I don't care about that. What I cared about is the whole Michelle Jones thing. Like, she's not even Mary Jane. That's what I was like, ugh. That's what I'm getting. Like,
she's an MJ.
I get it, but it's like so.
But
I don't.
Still
this is the thing. Why we always go back to the interview in this different, but still same.
We're gonna have to do an interview watch party, so everybody else gets.
I would be down for that. You let me know when that watch party is. I'll be there for that one.
I see, and then we get some comments that say, I immediately see Sadie as Gwen as soon as I open the video. What's expected? Oh, okay. We're starting over again because when I first started talking about this, we had like 30 watchers and now we have over 100. So, okay. Jasmine has heard that Sadie Sink is playing Gwen Stacy. She seems very confident.
She seems
I haven't heard this, but she says she has inside information.
Before we went live, she walked in and she said, Sadie Sink's actually my cousin.
Well, I started off with, guys, I watched Snow White. That's where I started.
Guys, Sadie Sink is my cousin, and guess what she told me? That's how this
literally, I'm about to hit live. I'm like, all right, guys, it's time to go live. And she's like, well, I heard some information that Sadie Sink is Gwen Stacy. I'm like, hold it up. What? That's how I keep saying podcast. That's how our live started today.
That's how the live
Jasmine has heard. Now, I have to say, I like this over MJ. I do. I like this over Firestar. I know a lot of people say Firestar.
Again, that's the red hair. That's the red hair of it all.
But it makes sense. Again, defining red hair. But wigs are a thing. Dyeing your hair is a thing. I see this right here. I like it. I like this. I like Sadie Sink as Gwen.
The playfulness. I feel like all of what I've seen of Sadie Sink not acting just as a normal, kid. I know she's 22. You guys said on the last stream. This makes sense to me. Her next to Miles Morales. I mean, if I see Sadie Sink start posting that she's taking ballet classes, I'm telling you, locked in.
So did you guys see what she did? Hey, Jacob. How's it going, everybody? Have you seen what she posted to her story that one time when the news about her being cast in Spider-Man was announced? It was somebody was like, oh, Sadie Sink has been cast as Jefferson Davis, Miles's father, in Spider-Man 4, and she reposted it to her story laughing. I was like, that's so great.
I know Warren's seen it.
The correlations are there.
Has Jasmine and anybody else in chat seen her? I think it was Happy Sad Confused.
Yeah.
Where they're asking they're asking her straight up about it. It was recently.
I actually reacted to it. I put it on Instagram.
And she was literally kind of like,
here, I
got you.
Yeah, see if you can pull it up. She's like laughing. Like it's obvious something's going on, right?
No, okay, so we're gonna go through this right now. We're gonna go.
Pull it up then.
I think it was Josh Horowitz's personal channel.
That's what it was.
Josh Horowitz, Sadie Sink.
We'll pull that up.
Yeah, you actually texted.
There's a lot of tells in there. Yeah, I think I sent that to you because I was like, "This is pretty cool." Like it was.
And I was
cool.
like, I'm just gonna react to this.
Yeah, but there is a lot of tell there from Sadie Sink, and you can also kind of see her fun personality, like Jasmine was just saying, like off of camera, like
I think
being
she's
herself.
Cool.
She's got a really fun personality. That's why I think this cast over many others is so important.
Yeah.
Because we're building the future. Like starting yesterday, we're building the future of the MCU, and some of these casts are vital for that. Because that's what we were talking about.
They are vital. Just we can flat out say that it's very important because this is going to be the new team moving forward. It's the new face. The big three is so important, and I think I did say that last time. The Jean Grey, the Wolverine, and the Cyclops are going to be so important and pivotal.
It'll be very central. Very, 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 very central.
Are you pulling it up, Warren?
I am. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it full screen without shutting off my screen.
Jacob Wells says, to the lady that is on y'all's stream.
Her name's Jasmine.
One day we'll get our nameplate.
I really like your Snow White dress. It's so good.
Hey.
Thank you. I made it an hour ago. So I appreciate that.
I like actually, yes. So that's fantastic. Jasmine is very, very talented. I've seen some of her cosplay stuff, and it's very amazing. Dan Cuso on YouTube. The trailer to Avengers Doomsday speculation should be during Avatar: Fire and Ash. I actually agree with that. Yeah,
it'd be a
great time to show it.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I don't know because I'm going to CinemaCon next weekend. Is it already?
I mean, we're not going to get a trailer. Doomsday hasn't even filmed yet.
It doesn't. They drop so much lore though at CinemaCon. They give us everything there.
Oh, sure. Yes. But a trailer, no way.
We'll find out.
Okay, first and foremost, can everybody hear this? We ready?
The internet is
maybe turn it up if you can.
Can we hear it in
I can hear it a little bit.
Stream?
If we can hear it, they can hear it.
We ready?
Okay. Here we go. So we're gonna watch this for however long it is. It's like a minute long. And then we're gonna back up because watch how she reacts to this. Everybody just watch how she reacts. What's up, Shadow?
We're all watching her reactions.
All right, ready?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready. I'm in this.
Chris is wiping his nose here.
If the internet is to be believed, you are already Jean Grey in X-Men. I'm sure people have been asking you about this.
Yes.
If I'm a betting man, should I put any money on this? Where are we at, Sadie?
I think this is news to me.
Is it news to you?
This is news to me.
Really?
Yes.
You never talked to a Kevin Feige or a Marvel person about this character.
At this part, right?
No, I can't. I have nothing to say about this. The rumors are really cool, though.
It's a nice rumor.
It's an awesome rumor.
Do you know you I assume know that character.
Yeah, I know the character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, she's Jean. Look at her.
I know.
Right here.
Does the idea, if something like that or something similar to that, I mean, that's a commitment also. Like you sign on to be Jean Grey in X-Men, you're on and off the next 10 years of your life. You're doing that.
Exactly.
Is that a consideration? Is that something that's intriguing, exciting for you at this juncture in your career?
Yeah, I think that's super exciting.
Yeah.
I've never heard about this, but it's super exciting.
So that's kind of the funny thing. Like, okay, a few parts where he says, what does he say?
Jean Grey in X-Men. I'm sure people have been asking you about this.
Yes.
She goes, I'm sure people have been asking you about this. And she goes, yes. But then when he says something again, she goes, oh, this is news to me. It's like, you just said they were asking you.
And then he asked her another question and she's like, I can't say anything else.
But this part, hold on. Look at her face right there. Don't ask
like
me.
not even.
She's like, Kevin Feige's looking right at me right now. It's an unfortunate pause.
He's in the background.
Pause. Yeah, he's like attends every interview she does. But
I can't. I know
that exact part. Was like, no, I can't. No, she's like, I can't say anything. Stop asking me about this.
This is hard. As someone who's been on the other side being interviewed, like there is a possibility that yes, she is Jean Grey and she can't say anything, or whoever she is in the MCU. But then there's also like you don't want to say the wrong thing and then have everyone and their mother doing interviews saying, "Oh my God, Sadie Sink said it." Like this is the scariest I feel like she's ever been.
Probably. And you can kind of see that, which is exciting because we know something's happening. And if we didn't, like this almost certainly confirms it for me.
Oh yeah. But we already knew something was happening. To be that interviewer.
Apparently it's Gwen Stacy.
Hey man, we'll see. But that's where I'm putting all my coins in.
Can I ask you, you don't have to tell us who the source is, obviously, but can I have they been right about things before? Like, you think they
the thing is they don't legit? This isn't something where they're like, they do these kinds of things. They're in the room where it happens, if that makes sense. So it's not like they do interviews and things. I had made a comment about how I was like, oh, she's going to be Jean Grey. And it was like a neck snap. To which I then commented, why? And then they were like, no, this is what's happening. So it was one of those kind of situations.
For everybody who's just joining us now, Jasmine has heard that Sadie Sink is playing Gwen Stacy. And I'm okay with that.
Happen? We'll see.
Something she heard. She's not saying this is 100% right. Something she's heard. I like what I see right here as Gwen, but as I'm watching this interview, and I still have the picture right here, her red hair, her just complexion, which I guess just comes with red hair.
It's not even just that though. It's like she has like Jean Grey's, I'll use the word like innocence and like kindness. Like Jean Grey is such a kind person unless you piss her off enough. But like
you need that dichotomy though. But I'm so
sorry. She has it beyond the red hair.
Not Sadie. You need it between Jean Grey and the Phoenix. So to see that switch is important.
Mm-hmm. And then also like it'd be really cool to see Madeline Pryor.
Mm-hmm.
Like
oh my god, so many roles.
That'd be cool too.
In one role.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She would play both characters, right? Because we haven't seen, at least to my knowledge, we haven't seen the Goblin Queen live action.
No, I don't believe so.
X-Men 97, sure, but yeah.
Well, like even in that regular X-Men, Madeline's been everywhere, but she's only been animated. She's never been live action. But
I don't know.
To the lore, and if you've seen Jean Grey, you've technically seen Madeline, and vice versa.
I understand like what Warren's saying because this is a really good cast for Gwen, but I just think ultimately.
But you don't think it's a good use of Sadie Sink?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there are, for me personally, who tends to not care even as much about actors. I don't think I'm as attracted to one individual playing one important individual as much as I have been with this discussion, which now we're going on like 3 weeks discussing it because it's important.
I just don't. My thing is, I would be okay if Sadie Sink wasn't Jean Grey. I would just need to see someone.
Instead.
That's the problem. For me, I look at Sadie Sink and she looks young to me. And I know that depending on where, right. But I mean, 22 is also not young. That's an adult. She's been drinking for 2 years now. So she is an adult. But in my mind, I still see, her friend of 11. I still see a little kid. And so it really is 11, right? Yeah, it's really going to depend on where they're starting the X-Men. If we're starting from when they go knock on the door and say, hey, we want to take your child into our school, great, Sadie Sink. Let's build up into it. But if we're dropping right into the action and they've been X-Men and now she's teaching, I cannot see Sadie Sink.
No, I don't. Yeah, no, I don't think they can do that. I don't think they can do that.
That's
I really.
True. But I personally hope we're getting the build up because I think that's what we need.
That's what I hope too.
Yeah.
Which is why
we talked about last time. You might have like Beast, who's older, and then obviously Professor X, and the teachers of everything, maybe Storm, and then you have your first class essentially. You know what I mean? Which she's a part of first class. You know what I mean? So
yes, it was Beast. It's fine.
That's true.
Beast's older,
and Iceman and Warren, Angel. Well, all right. Well, we'll see about that. We've talked about that a few weeks now, so we'll move on to this. Avengers Doomsday.
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro?
Look at Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt looks like he's like modeling. He's like
Chris Pratt's so sexy. I know that's not what we're about to talk about, but he's such a good looking dude.
This took a turn.
It did not.
Well, it didn't, or did you just gave us the ammo? We're just going where you let us.
That's true. I did not actually give a specific about why I pulled this up.
Yeah, you said, here you go. React, and we are reacting.
You both just went like frickin' Robert Downey Jr.'s face is right up front. You're both like,
we're like, hey, Chris Pratt, though. Can you move out the way there? Jesus.
Well, so the Russo brothers have talked a lot about Avengers Doomsday recently. A lot about Avengers Doomsday. And so one thing I want to focus on right here is the Russo brothers have said, I actually have let me make sure I pull the exact quote up here, but they did say this is going to be a new beginning for in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. So let me find the exact quote. Yeah, right here. So this was with Amalete, and it was a very long interview that I'm still watching and breaking down. It was like an hour-long interview the Russo brothers had with them. Joe Russo says, what's compelling about these two new Avengers movies is they're a beginning. It's a new beginning. We told an ending story. I'm assuming he's talking about Endgame. Now we're going to tell a beginning story. So
Joshua in the chat.
Yeah.
My arch
What?
nemesis is back. Everyone.
Jasmine, Deadpool, Wolverine.
I don't understand.
Joshua, I love you.
Nothing,
You're the
boys.
man.
What is this?
Get
What
him,
is this
get him,
about?
Joshua, get him.
What is that? Someone explain this to me. I get me, Deadpool, Wolverine. Is that the trifecta of the future? What are you saying?
He's just saying, hey, Jasmine,
Just reminding
reminder about Deadpool and Wolverine. It's amazing. And you are wrong
my guy.
about the rewatch.
You're all
You're
like
just
it.
adding fuel to his fire.
I like this.
Hey man, give me a reason to show up to these streams. Put them up.
Just give me a reason.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure who all saw this.
Oh, we need to go find it one day.
One day I'm going to figure out how to put handles on this freaking stream so you can follow Chris and Jasmine. But Jasmine posted to her story like immediately after the last stream of her doing squats, working on being Squirrel Girl, trying to get thick for everybody.
I didn't realize how twiggy I was until I watched that back and was like, damn, I got a long way to go. Literally, I was like, yikes.
I actually think you're in like really good shape though.
No. I am in great shape.
You're
I
not
was
thick
not
though.
the shape of Squirrel Girl. That girl,
No, she's thick.
She's
girl
built like a
Rhombus.
Pixar mom.
That girl
She
Rhombus.
is. Well, she is in Marvel Rivals.
Well, yeah.
my
She actually
God.
isn't even that much in the comics.
No, she's not. She's very tiny in the
Sleep on
comics.
that thing, like just perfect.
And then
Anyway.
you'll have to dress up Casanova as oh my gosh, her squirrel's name.
Yes, as her squirrel. No, we'll leave it to the chat. Who's a real fan of Squirrel Girl? Put the name of the rodent friend.
Oh, I just remembered it. Okay, but I'll let the chat do it.
Well, which
Okay.
one? The first or the second?
What do you mean?
Because there's two. There's
The one
technically
that she uses in Marvel Rivals.
the second one.
Yeah. So Marcus S. 9-star. Dr. Doom was able to build this in a cave with a bunch of scraps.
With a bunch
Okay,
of
so
scraps.
right. So this
Sorry,
is
what
okay. So there's a two-part to our discussion right now, right?
Mhm.
The first one is the Russo brothers right here, basically saying that Doomsday. Hey, Chris P got it. Tippy dope. I kept
My
saying
boy.
Tiny Tooth in my head. I was like Tiny Tooth. I was like, no, it's not Tiny Tooth. That's
Tiny
I was like,
Tooth.
and then I was like Tiny Tippy
Toe.
Toe. Duh. Well, yeah,
Toe.
good job, Chris.
You're welcome.
So for this is going to be a beginning, right? Which I automatically think we've been talking about the reboot. Oh, it's like the reboot, and I think a part of that comes from, or a part of that includes the new X-Men. I originally thought that Marvel wasn't really going to include the new X-Men before Secret Wars or in Secret Wars, and it's mostly going to be them coming after. But obviously, we know the MCU continues after Secret Wars, and whatever new universe we get is going to be a combination of a lot of different universes. One, of course, being our main universe. So then it looks like they're going to introduce some new X-Men before. That's kind of my take on this, because a new beginning, what's a new beginning? Like, we have Avengers, right? We have the old X-Men. We have the new Fantastic Four now. Joshua. He puts Deadpool and Wolverine over Squirrel Girl. You might
10
have
minutes.
to do
10 minutes in a locker room with Joshua.
you gotta do a Deadpool and Wolverine cosplay now.
What?
Half
No.
Yeah,
Deadpool,
Deadpool
half
I would do a
Wolverine.
Gwenpool. I've said this before. I'll do Gwenpool. That's about as far as I'll go in the fourth wall
What's up,
breaking.
Firestar? Yeah, well, that's a pretty cool one too. That would be pretty cool to see. What's
I'll
up,
even
Jacob?
do a Venom Gwenpool. But that is as far as I'll go.
Ooh.
That's what
Yeah.
she says, but we can push her further.
Manipulation.
What?
The
She's
rage-
just gonna
the rage
dress up
bait's
as
just not that
Gwenpool.
hard.
She's gonna dress up as Gwenpool, and then we're just gonna like paint
Just
it
edit
red
it.
and make
No,
it
that's
look
it.
like Deadpool. Exactly. We're just gonna make it look like Deadpool. Easy.
What is this stream? Lord Almighty.
It's the best. That's what it is. So, what's up, 2025 Marvel nerd? What's going on? Okay, so thoughts on this? What does this mean? A new beginning.
I like it. I think the Russo brothers are trying to clean the slate. I think that a reason why we're getting so, and I mean so many interviews from them, is because they do have a lot of cleanup to do. And they're aware of the situation they're in. They're smart guys. They're some of the best at what they do. And they're trying to wipe that clean. They're going to be like, yeah, that stuff happened. It's good. Go watch it. Enjoy it. Appreciate it. But we're starting over. And we're starting over to get to the next start over, which is going to be a big start over. And I think they're just trying to set that expectation. Like, you guys really don't know what's coming. You can sit here and play your little guessing games, but whatever we're about to create is going to be huge. That's why we're back. We wouldn't be back if it wasn't huge. It's going to be huge.
What about you, Jasmine?
Jasmine
I'm not arguing. No. I'm not. I'm trying my best not to be so contrarian today, though. What the fuck did you just say?
What did I just say? I spoke very well.
No, I hear you. I just have a really hard time again, really diving into anything that anyone says when they're all playing with magic. It's the, look over here while we're doing this. And I think Chris really said that. It's a new start, and we've already seen in Marvel the start of the Young Avengers. We're building that team together. We saw the cutscene with the X-Men that still we haven't talked about yet, but there's so many things that I hope they don't just brush under the rug. I'm gone. There are things that I still want to see come to fruition. I want to see us have the new Avengers lair or headquarters in the giant celestial. I want to see us get there. I want to see us breaking down. And we saw that a little bit in Captain America, where they started to, they're fighting over the, oh my God, and why am I forgetting this name? Goddamn, Indiana Jones said it.
Harrison.
I'm gonna let you sit on it. I know
Thunderbolt Ross.
I know you do. I hate you so much for this.
Well,
I just said it. I just said it.
She doesn't listen to you, Warren.
I didn't. I was talking.
Ross.
No. The metal. That's
adamantium.
Thank you, adamantium. Jesus, right.
You said Indiana Jones. I thought you were trying to say Harrison Ford, Thunderbolt Ross.
You went a long way for a small drink of water.
but I also thought. But what's funny is at first I thought you stopped because you saw Joshua's new comment.
No,
that's why I stopped.
That's why I thought you stopped. And I started laughing.
You spent $5 on it.
The chat is spending money just to get on Jasmine's nerves in a playful way.
Wait, I would take that 10-minute beating. I didn't say it was a beating. Maybe it would be a very fruitful conversation. I'm not saying I'm fighting somebody.
I would take the beating over the conversation. Bro. Let her be. It would be worth it taking a stand for my boys, Deadpool and Wolverine. He spent $5 to tell you that.
I like how he's carrying
my weight.
That was
the most expensive fuck you I've ever gotten. Oh my God.
Joshua's carrying the stream right now. Thank you,
Joshua.
Ridiculous.
But, okay, well, so I understand what you're saying, Jasmine.
Joshua T-shirt in our merch, please.
I'm sure he
and
would
another
love
thing,
that
Joshua.
shirt.
No, it's gonna say and another thing, Joshua.
And
one more,
thing, Joshua. You know what it should be? It should be like the Star-Lord meme where he's like, oh, I didn't know
what this did.
And then at the bottom you could put Joshua.
10 minutes. Anyway,
so
yes,
I get what you're saying.
I don't want them to brush under the rug when we have so many unfinished stories that we need to tell, whether it's the Eternal story, whether it's about the Celestials, whether it's about Spectrum in the other world with the X-Men. Like, I just don't want us to brush over these really important events by saying it doesn't matter. We're all just going to rewrite it anyway. So while I'm okay with Russo spending an hour talking about what's in the future, let's politely clean up what we already have first.
So I think they're going to do part of what you don't want them to do. Like I have heard from an inside source that Spectrum, that's a big thing. And Captain Marvel's actively looking for her right now in the MCU, right? So that's a thing. No, she's not going away. That's going to play a part. I believe she's in the 10,005 universe with our boys, Deadpool and Wolverine. And I think when those universes come together, she's a pivotal part of that, right? So I think she has a decent sized role for that. Captain Marvel as well. Casting Kitty Pryde.
We talked about that last week.
My girl.
I hope that
my girl Kitty Pryde and Lockheed
got the little dragon.
Yeah, let's not get locked. I said Lockheed. Let's not get distracted. But they're for sure pushing the Eternals back. Like that whole story, like that's coming after Secret Wars if they decide to do it. It could, because in a way they are going to skip over a lot of stories that they've set up in the MCU. Now I do think the Russo brothers will do it in a very good way. I have faith in them right now. I think it's really good. But
I have hope in them.
But
I don't know if I have faith. I have hope. I have so much
every
hope.
MCU project they've ever done is amazing.
Okay.
I don't care that Electric State bored me to death, but
I haven't seen it yet. I can't do it. I keep watching the trailers and I'm like, no. Maybe I'll just watch Pretty Little Liars for the 7th time. Like I just don't find the oomph to put that on. But
well, like, and see like Noah Atkinson, welcome. Oh, actually, Cornflakes. Anna de Armas for Kitty Pryde. She might be a little too old though,
Ooh,
right?
Yeah, she's too
But
old.
I
Yeah,
do
she's
like
so
how
good,
she looks for that role though.
It's a really good look for her.
I just love her look in
Yeah, it's a good look. But
Mhm.
Noah Atkinson, Millie Bobby Brown is a great fit for the role of as Kitty Pryde.
No, disagree.
I see. Here's my
Strong
deal,
disagree.
and I don't really have hate towards Millie Bobby Brown at all, but
But
I don't think she's there yet as an actress. I don't think she's there yet as an actress. I
You know
watched
what
The
is
Electric
so-
State, and I was like,
I feel like such a dick saying this. I don't want Millie Bobby Brown and Sadie Sink in the MCU. I think that's too much.
I could see that, like too much of Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And them interacting together, it would immediately pull me out of whatever they're talking about and what they're doing, and that sucks. I just think that it's way too soon of me going from Netflix watching the last season of Stranger Things and then popping over and seeing them, together in the MCU. I just need a little bit.
I mean, but that makes them hot, and Marvel Studios likes to kind of do that a little bit.
You're not wrong.
What I mean?
You're not wrong. I mean, they need the audiences in order to pull people in. I get it. I just, for me personally, and that's such a nitpicking. If I were a casting director, people would hate me. I would not cast them so close together. I'd put a little bit of, I don't know. But I know there was that article saying that they wanted Millie Bobby Brown in something, and every time there's a project, her name comes up.
Well, they clearly like her, and of course, you want to work with people who you like. So, and again, I'm not saying anything about her as a person. And all I've really heard about her recently is she wants to be taken more serious as an adult, and she's an adult now, and I get that. People see her as 11, which I also get, right? Because that's what she's kind of most famous for right now. Comic Hour, like the Eternals actor from Game of Thrones. You got Kit Harington and what's the other guy's name?
Richard Madsen. No.
Oh
yeah. Madden.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Something like that, right? Yeah.
In the same
Jon
film.
Snow and yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Jenna Ortega is Kitty Pryde. Jenna Ortega recently said that she probably won't come back to Marvel. Now anybody can say anything, right? Because she was in Iron Man 3 and she was like, they cut out most of my scenes, almost all my lines, and she was pretty much just like a little cameo, but it was before she was famous, obviously.
Right.
So it's kind of just
is that her butt hurt, or is that her taking like a stance of the integrity of
Jasmine read the comment. Make the shirt. He'll buy it. I actually just started
to buy it. It's supposed to be a shirt that whatever. You know what? You're not going to get me today. You're not going to get me because I'm just a Snow White. It's fine.
So lay there and be quiet. No, I'm just kidding. So lay there.
I don't need a man to save me. Okay.
Yeah, that ends up, but that ends up happening.
Every 5 minutes of the film.
Yeah, we're not gonna spoil Snow White for those who do want to see it, and
DM me.
But no, she's like, "Is Joshua want to be spoiled? Because I'll spoil it." I don't know how to hold on. Oh,
whoa!
Look at him!
Pratt.
Look at Chris Pratt.
Did you just say that was Chris Pratt? Oh no, in the background. I only see Robert Downey Jr. You guys are seeing Chris Pratt.
I look right past him. I go boom.
How do I do
just
this?
so Zoolander. Like, how
What
are you
the
missing that? He almost looks like cut out.
Okay, hold on. Got it. Okay. He does look Zoolander. He does look like he's giving
he
us
looks so much crisper than everyone else. Like, everyone on the blue side looks so like blurry.
Because whoever made this photo was like, dang, Chris Pratt. I'm gonna enhance him.
Let me put that
obviously.
Shoulder. Yeah.
But going back to what you were saying, they're gonna skip over some stories. I don't know if they're gonna even try to like address it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Just like, I think just kind of like they pushed all those projects back, like I think it just happens. I think the priority right now is Avengers Doomsday. And so let's talk about the second thing that the Russo brothers said.
Yeah.
I had it pulled up somewhere and now I don't. But basically I know what they said. They said somebody asked them about Tony Stark's death in Avengers Endgame, and the Russo brothers said, we can't say anything about that because that directly connects to the story that we're telling for Doctor Doom.
Well,
I already got you though, and I ain't watching it. Well, other people in the chat might want to watch it, so we're not gonna spoil it for them.
Yeah,
but yeah,
interesting. I mean, again, I know that I made that comment earlier that RDJ's death, or I'm sorry, Iron Man's death and Doctor Doom is gonna be discussed. I heard either read that or maybe this is the article that I had saw. Or you're getting it from an hour-long video, right?
Yeah, so there's an hour-long interview with the Brazilian outlet Omelete. They're huge over there. They get all the exclusives, and they did like an hour-long interview with the Russos, and
That's
they
incredible.
revealed a lot.
First of all, that is incredible to have an hour-long interview with anyone. That's
right.
impressive.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Would it be me? Yeah, no, I don't know. That is really hard to say because I feel like you have to. Like in my mind, I go, duh. How are you going to bring on an actor that everyone knows and loves and cast him in such a pivotal role and not talk about that? But for them to not even give us any kind of leeway, maybe it's the transition needs to be secret. Maybe it's a resurrection story in a different timeline and they brought his butt. Like, I don't know. Maybe this is still an an Iron Man Doctor Doom. Like, I don't know. And I don't know how to feel.
Like a Victor Von Doom made Iron Man armor instead of Iron Man?
Yeah, because I know there's that story where they just swapped it.
Cool,
no, so that's a what if comic where Doctor Doom
becomes Iron Man.
It kind of follows the same story where he goes to college with. So they swap him going to college with Reed for him going to college with Tony Stark, and Doctor Doom tricks Tony into basically getting into this machine that he made, and they swap minds.
Into the choir. You are speaking.
Yeah, so I don't think they're gonna go that route. I don't think there's any mind swapping. I think he's either a Tony Stark variant or he's Doom. And from what we heard today from the insider My Time to Shine a Low, he's gonna try to trick the Avengers using the fact that he looks like Tony Stark to his advantage. Which it's like, okay, in some way, shape, or form, there has to be something in there that acknowledges they look the same. Otherwise, why cast Robert Downey Jr.?
What's the point?
Right.
What's the point besides to build hype and what people are calling cheap? Like, I don't think Marvel would just do that, right? There has to be a very
we already did
reason.
This with Gamora. We already banked on an emotional stake when Gamora had to switch, and now we've got the other Gamora. And yeah, this feels like we already did this. So forgive me if I want something more or extra. I get that there's a difference between Gamora and Iron Man, Tony Stark, but I don't know. I feel like we just did.
Well,
this.
the weird thing is with the Gamora storyline, that's actually not even a variant. She's from the same timeline, just back in time.
Right.
So,
but I guess what I mean to say is it still has that. You're not.
No, it feels the same. Sure. But I just think like he's either got to be a Tony Stark variant or they just have to address it. And him going, hey, you know what? I'm Doom, but I look exactly like this guy who snapped and saved their universe. I could use that to my advantage. Such a Doom thing to do.
Yeah.
Doom is so smart.
Very calculated.
I feel like Doom doesn't get enough credit from some people because they're like, oh, Reed Richards is like 1 on the list of who's the smartest in Marvel history, and Doom is like maybe like 7 or something like that, right? And I'm just like, he's still 7th in the entire universe. Like, he's a genius. You know what I mean? Like, he is a genius. He is Reed Richards.
Isn't Ironheart supposed to be number 1 or something like that?
No, Reed is number 1. Reed is always number 1. Valeria, however you choose to. She's like 2 or 3. No, she's like 2 or 3. Yeah. Chris, are you looking up the list right now?
Oh, I was gonna say there was one.
Please.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I need a couple. I thought it was a female who was number 1.
There is, but it's not Riri.
Oh, that's okay. It doesn't have to be.
Valeria Richards is number 1, followed by Reed Richards, followed by Brainiac, Doctor Doom, Dr. Manhattan, Bruce Banner, Bruce Wayne. That's not right.
No, there's a black female character that's not Riri. That is like number 3 or something like that. I know what you're talking about, Jasmine. I don't remember her name.
Thank you. I feel like I'm tripping out over here. I gotta like pull my comic.
You're right. Yeah.
Like a moment.
Shuri in the comics, she's up there, but she's not like a top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe so. I've looked at this list a few times in my
life. Here you go. This is actually from Marvel.
Right. Marvel does have
Lunella Lafayette.
Yeah.
That's who they have at number 1 on Marvel.
She's not number 1. It's always Reed. It's always Reed. Unless they did some new comic that I don't know about.
I think there was something, and I'm so sorry we're getting a little off topic. I apologize, but it's still one.
No, I'm curious now.
But I know that they did something recently where they like tested it all, and it was a female who beat out everyone and was number 1.
I didn't hear about
I
that, so that's
I
interesting.
don't know. I mean, I'm gonna make a video about it.
Read the list, Chris. Sorry, read like the top 10.
This is top 10 superheroes, so Doom's not on this. But this is on Marvel's actual website, and it says Lunella Lafayette, who I'm not gonna lie, I've never heard of. Reed Richards, Tony Stark, Bruce Banner, Valeria, Hank, Riri Williams, Henry McCoy, Adameus Chow, and T'Challa. I sent a link to that.
Moon Girl is number 1.
That's what it says on this Marvel website.
Yeah, Lunella Lafayette is Moon Girl. Oh, interesting.
Where are you? I don't know where you're.
Look at the private chat. I dropped the link there.
Finding this list. Oh, okay, no, I think I found it now. Lunella, Reed, Tony, Bruce.
Yep, that's the one.
Valeria, Hank, Riri, Henry, Amadeus.
No, this is the superhero, so Doom's not on it.
Interesting.
Because
I want this. I want.
I would be curious to know where Doom would fall into that.
Doom. I think Doom falls at between Valeria and Hank. I want to say he's smarter than Hank, but not 100%.
Yeah, I would hard agree with what you just said.
I know Valeria's smarter than him.
Yeah, that's
been established, right? And I know Tony Stark's smarter than him. And the last time I like saw this list, Lunella was like 3. I think she was below. I think it was Reed, Valeria, Lunella.
Well, this article is 2018, so I mean it's been some time. So who knows?
Well, this one's Marvel's official, but you're saying, oh yeah, it is from 2018. Yeah, that's what. Like I looked this up not too long ago for a video I was doing or something like that. But yeah, I mean, the whole point of that was to say Doom is really smart.
Doom is really smart. Yes.
And he's not even on our list.
We didn't even find the list with Doom on it. But Chris, maybe try to look that up real quick, please.
I am trying. It's not on Marvel's website anywhere.
Yeah. You know what? Clickety clips. That's what we need is an actual number of the IQ. Yeah. And then we'll know everyone's. And then there's
I don't think they give everyone's IQ officially though.
Yeah, I can chat GPT it though.
You say you're gonna chat GPT it?
Yeah, why not? Just whatever everybody's IQ. It's just going to search the database. No, it'll search the database.
Can it search the database?
Can
it use online?
Search until it can't find anything, and then it makes the shit up. It just like uses whatever's around.
Well, we'll go with nothing then.
You know what? Play it.
Doom is 197. Doom is 197. Clicky clip says.
But how much is the Moon Girl?
12.
Well, Lunella is clearly up there. And again, when I looked at a list before, she was like 3. So
yeah.
So yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, all that going back to what we're talking about, I get it. So you're saying that Doom is using the face of Iron Man of Tony Stark, but why these? I guess that's what I'm missing is why these people? Why this group? Why?
Because I think he has what?
ChatGPT cooked.
Well, hold on. To answer your question, I think he's gonna get Kang tech. I really do. I think he's gonna be able to. I think that's how he becomes so powerful and can travel through the multiverse because he happens upon Kang tech. He maybe even defeats Kang. Hopefully, we get something like that happen. Like hopefully he defeats Kang. We get a story wrapping up the Kang arc somehow, and that leads to Doom having all his tech. And then, excuse me. Somehow he sees into other universes, right? Because if you think about it, when we were in Multiverse of Madness, the Illuminati said they've basically looked into things in the multiverse and they've discovered Strange is the biggest threat, right?
Right.
Out of all the research they've done. So perhaps he has the capability of looking and seeing what happened in other universes, being able to control time and space and go throughout the multiverse. And he sees Tony Stark, who just so happens to have the same face as him. Right. And I think since our Avengers are like the main sacred timeline, obviously going to play a huge importance, he goes, I have to go here and I have to find this Loki and get to the TVA, get to the place beyond space and time. I'm going to need the Avengers to help me maybe. So he's like, and I can use the fact that I look like their biggest hero who died to get them on my side.
But they see him. So Tony Stark shows up. Tony Stark shows up and is like, Doom, Tony Stark shows up and is like, hi guys, I'm back and I need your help to get to the TVA. None of them know what the TVA is except Loki.
Right. Which makes it easier for him to be in charge because he will explain everything as it is. And then if Doctor Strange shows up, then he's going to be like, he's right. The multiverse is being threatened right now. It's going to fall apart.
I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing all of these. God, it's not about me. It's okay.
It's not about you.
Not about me. It's okay. I just see the green now and I'm like triggered. It's not. That's not what I'm nervous about. I'm nervous about all of these individuals who have now gone through so much trauma. Seeing someone that they love and adored. I mean, Steve Rogers, seeing him and being like, what, like not automatically thinking this is wrong. This is not okay. I don't care who or what you are. You're not going to take the face of Tony Stark and have us listen to you. That's where I'm like,
I don't know. I might, and I'm going to get to your super chat in a bit, Joseph. And we'll address some comments. No, I think for a lot of these characters, it's kind of like you said, a lot of these characters don't know what the TVA is.
Right. None of them except for Loki and Mobius.
Right. Or Morbius. Mobius. It's Morbius time.
Morbius. I'm here. I exist in this universe. No, get out of here. Go.
No,
we don't
please don't. If he comes in, it literally has to be the meme. It's Morbin time. Like that's it. And then get out. Please don't bring Jared Leto into the
go talk about an unfinished storyline. Anyway,
right, just please. No, I 100% think they go, oh my gosh, it's a variant of Tony Stark. He's got to be somewhat similar to our Tony Stark. He's clearly got to be a genius. This one actually knows sorcery as well. Holy crap, maybe he's better. We got to follow him. We got to trust him.
So you think he immediately lays all his cards down on the table and it's just like, I'm a variant.
I think he says, hello, yes, I'm a variant of Tony Stark. The multiverse is in jeopardy. I need Earth's mightiest heroes to help me.
Someone just said Deadpool and Wolverine know about the TVA. Little cameo.
That's true too. That's true too. And if the if the incursion starts to happen with our universe in the 10,005 universe, and then Doom comes in after that, then Deadpool and Wolverine can be like, no, we've seen it. We've seen the multiverse, like blah 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 blah. And then Monica Rambeau's there as well. It's like, yeah, I got sent from one universe to another. It's like totally true thing. Our universes are colliding. The multiverse is being destroyed, or it's falling apart. We have to save it. And they all go, okay, well then let's trust this guy who looks like the greatest hero we had. Right. I mean, I don't know. I actually think it's pretty easy for the Avengers to trust him. I actually think I said this in my video today. I think it might be Spider-Man who gets really involved with him, but maybe his Spidey sense tells him like,
I was going to ask you, who's the outlier? Who's the one?
I think Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man or maybe Strange even. Maybe he comes around to it.
I think Strange, so he has to put him on a different mission. Maybe once again, sending him on a mission to like, I've got this magic that can bring your wife back. Go over there.
Something like that. Right. Yeah. Well, all right. Let's address Joshua's
story.
First super chat. Thank you so much for all these, man. I super appreciate it. Y'all don't get it. Tony was adopted. He was Doom. Think about him making Ultron because he wanted a suit of armor. So I totally agree. Yes. I don't want to say too much on this because I've been working on a theory for like a week now about Doom / Tony, about what I think it actually is. I actually think.
Tell me your
theory.
I
don't want to say it yet. No,
tell me your theory.
I want to reveal it in a video, and I want my full thoughts on it. But yes, no, I do get it. I understand. So basically, I'll say yes. I've thought of Ultron bots as Doom bots before. If you can, if you kind of get what I'm thinking about here.
Yeah. Are you saying that Ultron and Doom would be in leagues together, or just the similarities between the two? Give me the theory.
I'm saying that there's something that we've seen in the MCU already where we thought we have seen Ultron bots that could have been Doom bots. Get it? I think most of y'all will get that.
Okay.
Get what I'm saying?
I do.
There was an empty chair in the Illuminati.
Okay.
Right? I think I'm onto something.
I don't think you're not onto something. I think there's something there. I absolutely.
Not gonna agree with you completely.
I do because
maybe
she can't. I don't know that she's physically capable of that.
Facts. My heart gets broken so many times with these shows, and with I can't be absolute on anything anymore. Especially like I said earlier, it's the magic that they play, and so I don't want to. Even with me going out being like, oh, she's Sadie Sink is Gwen Stacy. Like I can never unless I know contractually, and there's like you go to jail if you do anything different. I will never be 100% because I have been scorned too many times by both Marvel and DC in these live action adaptations. It just hurts. And we, as the specific kind of creators that we are doing all of these deep dives, we put so much of ourselves into these theories that it hurts when you think you're so close and are just not correct. So I don't know. It's hard. I could put a lot of emotional stake into what I talk about.
This is a big conversation that I could have that we're not going to get into
Oh.
because I think I've said it before. When my expectations are high and I get met with a movie that's great, that's not what I thought it was, it's okay. But if they don't deliver a great movie, then it's their fault, not mine.
And I hear
I'm imagining great things because they can do great things, right? And it doesn't even have to be what I imagine. I just want a great movie because then I'm fine. Even if I'm imagining crazy stuff and it doesn't happen, if I get a great movie in return, I'm okay with it. I think it's when the movie underperforms.
I appreciate you saying I'm not going to go into this because it's too long, and then you summarizing it and telling me anyway. I do appreciate that.
No, I could get really into it. So, but anyways, yeah. I think some people are reacting to what I said. I want to monetize my theory. I mean, I just want to. Yes, I'm not gonna lie, but I want to finalize it as well. Well, it's a video I've been playing for a long time, for like a week or so. Actually, probably more than a week or so now. I'm just trying to really connect it all to what I want it to connect it.
Y'all should see the whiteboard on the other side of the camera.
But yeah, I mean, I'm like the Charlie Day meme where I'm like,
I actually every time I see that meme, I think of Warren first.
Yeah. What if Fantastic Four isn't a good movie?
Well, then screw it.
It's really bad news.
It's a setup movie anyway. You know,
I mean, it's really bad. No, I think fans need it to be a really good movie, though. I think fans need it to be a good movie. I'm the type of person that will consume everything, but there's some people out there who
got Daddy in that movie. People are going to go watch it regardless. So
we talked about this on my podcast yesterday. Pedro Pascal's in everything now. Have you seen the schedule for 2025 and 2026?
I did. Someone posted it, and it was like 10 movies all coming out.
Crazy.
First of all, Materialist. I watched that trailer twice. Yeah, that's all I had time for.
What is that?
I'll watch it more. It was a good trailer.
Well, to stick with Avengers Doomsday, we're going to talk about this. Can I pull this up?
We're moving on up.
Move on up.
How do I? Okay, stop this. Present.
Yes.
Present. Is this it? No. Is this it? No. Is this it? No. What the heck is it?
Really adaptation.
Should we be ad-libbing right now?
Sure. I don't know what Chris is saying.
I don't know either. Beyond the Spider-Verse. No, should I? Pedro Pascal is a hardworking man. Pedro Pascal has slipped into this really interesting vortex of we want him and we're also giving him really good projects, which is wonderful. But do you feel like Pedro Pascal is going to eventually be a person that we just get fatigued out on?
Yes, that's why.
Historically, how it works.
Yeah. Why isn't this working? I just want you to open by yourself. There we go.
He doesn't want to see his tabs.
So correct. I mean, they're all just about what we're talking about today, so it doesn't even matter. But so yeah, Alex Perez from the Cosmic Circus said that we can expect to see. I want to find his like exact quote. I mean, this is an article by him. It's all a quote from him. But he basically says in this that the animated universe, we can expect to see it in Avengers Doomsday. So that also tells me that, yeah, it's going to be we're going to have a lot of multiversal elements to this movie right here, exclusive. Animated universes and characters will have a role to play in Avengers Doomsday. According to our sources, Marvel Studios has been exploring ways to bring their animated properties into this film, reportedly maintaining the animated format of their characters as well as their respective universe, instead of transitioning a character from animated to live action and vice versa.
Interesting.
To put in simpler terms, we're looking at a possible Space Jam / Who Framed Roger Rabbit scenario for the scenes involving these characters.
What?
In addition, to clarify, while Miss Minutes is expected to return for Avengers Doomsday, the information regarding these scenes is in addition to Miss Minutes' interaction. So basically, I think he mentioned something about this on Twitter /X at first, and people were like, oh yeah, Miss Minutes is returning. So now he's like, no, I'm not talking about Miss Minutes.
I see.
Yeah.
Ew, I hate this.
I don't want it to be a lot.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
You hate it?
I was like, initially when I was reading this, I did think just Miss Minutes, and I'm like, well, yeah, duh. But and then as you were reading it, I was like, this just confirms the theory of Gwen Stacy or Sadie Sink playing Gwen Stacy because we had her. No.
Wait,
that's before you finished. That's where my mind went to of like, oh, because we're gonna bring those two, the animated into Doomsday. So naturally,
from the Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. So I was like, oh, that'd be great. Because then, they're dealing with all their Spider-Verse stuff. Maybe that's why that film hasn't come out. Who knows at this point? But now you're telling me that we're Roger Rabbiting?
So that's the thing is like they're going to bring the character. Well, okay, so think reverse Prowler Donald Glover from Across Spider-Verse. Remember how it was just one live action guy in the animated universe? It's the reverse that. Animated characters in a live action universe.
Oh no,
Chad, how do you feel about that? Because I don't want a lot of it. I don't want a lot of it. It's gonna distract me. It's gonna It's
not really gonna. It makes it juvenile. I don't want these shows to be juvenile. And I I don't know.
We did see it briefly in Multiverse of Madness.
In what?
Yeah, we did. They in Multiverse of Madness, when they're going through different universes, they briefly go into an animated universe.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't mind it, but it's kind of like you said. Like, I don't want it to be something stupid and cheesy. I want it to be like, I think somebody mentioned it. Hold on, let me find it in the chat.
It feels a little too campy for me. Like, I get it, but because you could say like, oh, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was mature, but it was camp, and we knew that it was camp.
Right.
We went in with the expectation of camp.
Right. Well, Clickety Clip says, if this is true, they should bring Infinity Ultron from What If. And then you could say like, well, the end of What If season 3, Captain Carter became something more. Like, they all became something more. And if you're in a scene perhaps where Doctor Strange is trying to consult with very intelligent beings of the multiverse, or maybe there's like some Illuminati and they're trying to consult with these people. I mean, the Sinister Strange from What If is now, according to What If 3, he is a universe. If you want to consult with him for something and they bring him in, I get that. And that's a serious thing, right? And you almost wonder if it's going to it's almost not breaking the fourth wall. If a universe because in reality, if like your universe combined with an animated universe, you'd be like, are you a cartoon? Like, I can see Spider-Man saying something like that, right? Like, right. Whoa, yeah. But it's kind of like you said, I don't want it to be too campy. I want it to be like they go and get right here, this Doctor Strange, right? Who is a universe now.
Right.
Or Infinity Ultron's like a good thing. Like, can Infinity Ultron help us? Or should we even do that? Because will he just kill everything? But he helped them at the end of What If 3. So I don't know. There's a lot they can do with it. Just me not being a super big animation fan as it is, I'm okay if they never did this, right?
Why? Okay.
But I think they do it just because they want to demonstrate the multiverse. I think that's what their plan is. And Alex is pretty accurate with this stuff. This could be for like a minute.
I want it for 15 seconds. I want it in and out.
Well, it might be because in Multiverse of Madness, they go through an animated universe for like 2 seconds. It might be kind of the same thing. They're going through the multiverse and they just so happen upon an animated one.
Or even like the Watcher. I'll have the Watcher show up in the clouds and just be like, what are you guys doing? Or like, even if it's just a quick little flash, the Watcher watching them in their universe.
I think the Watcher needs to be live action, though.
Oh my god!
He needs to be live action.
Hairs on what needs to be live action, what doesn't need to be live action, and
no, I think everything should be live action. I don't think anything should be animated. I think if the animated characters come into our universe, they should change and become live action. But I don't know.
No, I agree. I agree.
It's an interesting report
with that.
Yeah, I mean. It is what it is. Okay.
It definitely isn't something that brings up conversation for sure. But we'll see.
Okay, so we have to bounce in like 15 minutes, but I did want to talk about one thing. We are going to talk about the Punisher and Daredevil Born Again. I don't actually think we're getting into spoilers for Daredevil Born Again because I think they've already advertised that John Bernthal is returning as Frank.
Oh my god,
as
literally.
Punisher.
Disney dropped that I think like 15 minutes before the
episode came out. Right. Disney literally said, by the way, Frank returns this episode 15 minutes before the episode came out.
And that's so rude.
It's a way to get people to watch it, right? But
we knew it was happening. I don't think many people who cared about that being spoiled didn't already know. Like he's been in almost every trailer.
He's been in the trailers. I think it would have been nice for us to have. We don't know. He could have been in the last 2 episodes. I just think that giving us that excitement,
the specific episode,
15 minutes before, like that feels like an hour after it drops. Welcome back, Frank. Not 15 minutes before.
Even sometimes even an hour after drops, is crazy.
Still too early.
I mean, this is why I don't put, and I actually saw you put something about it. I don't put spoilers in my thumbnails when the episodes drop. If I do, I'll change it like 2 days later or something like that.
Well, because you guys know that I'm doing socials for person, and even with him, he was so specific. He's traveling right now. He gave me all of the thumbnails for Daredevil ahead of time and said, "This one you drop as soon as the episode drops. This one you drop 24 hours later." Like I couldn't even do the testing. It had to be this one drops now and this one drops later because they had the spoilers in it, and that's great. He cares about his audience. But there were people dropping, and I'm not going to name names because it'll make me very mad. But not only were they dropping 30 minutes prior to the episode, guess who's back? They were also dropping, I'll just say it. It was here's 75 Easter eggs for the episode. Again, prior to
see, that's kind of, I don't know. I actually don't know who you're talking about because I think most of the people who I'm buddies with, actual friends with, we all waited. I watched, we all waited till an hour after. Well, and my mindset is I'm not gonna drop my breakdown before it airs. Sure, maybe a few people will watch it, but they're not gonna watch it till after the episode's over. They're not gonna watch my breakdown first. Right. At least I wouldn't. And to the point of spoiling things,
yours is the first one that pops up because it's been.
I get it, but I mean,
is it really worth it?
We talk about leaks, but we don't ever spoil things too publicly for those who don't want to know, right? We do titles and thumbnails talking about leaks, but if anything really official comes out with episodes or something like that, we don't want to spoil it for the people who don't want to be spoiled. When you click, that's when we'll spoil it.
Well, it's a spoiler when you know. It's a leak when you're piecing it together, right?
Right.
Sure. So I do want to talk about this though. They even put this photo in here, and Marvel approves all of this, but everybody should know the Punisher's returning, so we're not going to really dive into spoilers about anything that happened specifically. But one thing that he said, I want to find it on here, but I'll go ahead and just set the premise of what he said before I find the specific sentence, and y'all can talk about it. He came back originally as Frank, as the Punisher. The story that they started to do and the direction that they took him, he said, "This is not the Punisher, I'm out." And he left. Then they redid it, and he came back. Yeah.
Interesting.
So you start talking about that while I find what he actually said.
It makes sense, especially given because I think the last time we saw Punisher was when they were on the roof in the second season of because I don't remember him in the third season of Daredevil. If he was, okay. But he had that conversation with Charlie Cox, Matt Murdock. Thank you. Jesus Christ, the alliteration. Yeah, it's crazy. It's there's so many names in my head that I'm and my little people are pulling them out. But they have this conversation really about the morals and what it means. And we know that Frank Castle is on his own moral high ground of, I will get the job done. My family, my son, my wife, I'm going to avenge them no matter what. And him being a military man, he's so orderly on how he gets shit done that it's scary, but he knows he's doing right. And so I also get that. I get that if you don't write a script that is a serviceman doing what he needs to do to get the job done, but also dealing with his own internal demons, I would also throw that script away. And plus this is now on Disney, so I'm sure it was campy and cute, and they had to act dark and gritty.
Right,
I get it.
Yeah. Well, this is what he apparently was spoken here. Bernthal's own reunion with his character wasn't quite as volatile as Mr. Murdoch's, but there was a time when it felt on shaky ground. It's no secret that Disney's Daredevil Born Again underwent a significant overhaul after filming 6 episodes. So context on that. Yeah, it wasn't going to connect to Netflix at all, which, again, why would you ever start doing that? Glad they changed it. Whatever. We don't need to know why, but they changed it, and it's all connected now, which is great. Bernthal was approached with that first incarnation of the show, so before they changed it, which felt more like a procedural and less connected to the mythology of the original Daredevil series on Netflix. John Bernthal says, ultimately, I didn't see it. I didn't see the version of Frank and what they wanted from Frank didn't really make sense to me, and I thought would not appeal to the fans and wouldn't be congruent. It was not something I was really interested in doing. So we had to walk away.
Oh,
so
good on him.
Great for you, dude. Like, I love that, because he's one of those people who I've seen lots of interviews when he first, became the Punisher forever ago. Like, geez, like the last season was like 7 years ago, 8 years ago. So this was season 2. So, 10 years ago, he said he would go into like a bunch of different comic shops, talk to the owners. What do I read? Like, what would you recommend? Blah, 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 blah. And some were like, oh yeah, do you need it? Like, do you read this? Like, read this, blah, 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 blah. And then he said that he went into one comic shop and he's like, hey man, I'll take these. And the guy was like, no, you're not, I'm not selling you those. And he was like, what? And he was like, a bunch of Punisher comics. He was like, no, I know who you are. You need to read this one, this one, this one, and this one. That's what you have to do. Memorize these. Don't F this up. Like, I remember him telling that story, and he was like, oh geez, oh, okay. So the fact that he took the time to really learn about.
I love that comic book story, because there's a difference between people who want to sell you comics and another person that wants you to play the character with integrity.
Exactly.
And I love that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so just to finish this, it says, after hiring new lead writers and bringing on Bernthal as the Punisher scribe and executive producer, Dario Scardapane, a showrunner, Marvel came back around. This time, they were more collaborative with Bernthal in developing the character. They really brought me into the conversation, he says. We really got specific about where Frank is psychologically and where Frank's at physically. Love it. Love it.
Hear an echo.
I heard
where's that
one.
coming from?
Is it me?
Hello.
Jesus.
Hello. I mean, did anybody's headset die? And now it's on their speakers?
Nope.
Nope. I forgot to put on my headphones this time.
What if I do this? That fixed it for some reason?
I heard one. Is it still? Is it my echoing?
I'm still hearing the echo, yeah.
Hello. It's Jasmine.
Is it me?
Yeah, it's you. Yeah.
Fine. We were so close to the end of the stream. I will.
We're basically at the end. We gotta bounce anyways. Wait, are you doing something? Hello.
Hello.
Howdy, Snow White is. Oh.
Game
Did that
over.
fix it?
It did actually.
It did. What?
I
what
know
changed?
you like do. I put on my headphones. But just my mics are really sensitive, and if it picks up too much stuff, then it starts fighting. But it's fine. I'll just recurl my hair, I guess.
Well, we're done. You won't have to finish that part.
I do want to note, though, I think it's really important that they took the time to make Frank Castle what he's supposed to be. That procedural element really means that it would not have been succinct. They would have had singular episodes where nothing would have mattered. And I think the dynamic between Frank Castle and I keep wanting to say Charlie Cox, Matt Murdock.
Murdock.
Thank you. It's just the alliteration. I'm telling you, there's so many names in my head that words are hard for me. But I think it's really important that we address that symbiotic relationship, both the give and take that both of these men have in their journey. It almost feels synonymous with, and I don't want to go as far because they're not as crazy, but Batman and the Joker, where both of them are trying to do what they believe is right. It's just one of them is bad and the other one's doing good. Again, it's not the same, but I just mean to say the way that they play off of each other, where Batman won't ever actually truly stop the Joker. He'll just send them to jail. And I feel like that's the same way with Matt Murdock, is that they, as much as they hate each other and they fight, Matt came to him for questions, for answers, for permission. So I think that relationship is so important, and I'm glad that they found the right way to tell it.
Me too. And again, I don't want to get in too much of Daredevil spoilers. We're just talking about Punisher being back in general, but the whole, Batman's my favorite character, and even I'm like,
and I got a list of your favorite characters, because you've had so many right now, and I feel like every time we talk about it,
I've literally told you Thor for Marvel, Thor and the Scarlet Witch for Marvel, Batman for DC.
Okay,
that's all. I mean, I have a lot of characters that I love. But I have my favorites: Thor and Scarlet Witch and Batman. Batman trumps it all for me. But having said that, well, actually, you're right. I have said the Punisher. The Punisher is actually probably who I resonate with the most, in all honesty.
Okay.
Thor's like, I want to be Thor. I want to be the Scarlet Witch as well. But but to the point of the Punisher and even Batman.
I could see Warren in the little Sokovian outfit.
Hell yeah.
Sokovian fortune teller.
Well, maybe you can make a cosplay for me one day when I go to LA. We can figure it out. But she's like, I'm so there. My favorite villain of all time.
Right there.
There you go. My favorite villain of all time is Doom. Like, I love Doom. He's complex and just he's good, he's bad, he's wants everything for himself, he's vain, he covers his face. That's I don't want to get into that because we got to go. But another thing, I'm like, we're not really supposed to see Doom's face that much, and obviously Robert Downey Jr. showing his face a lot, right? You know what I mean? So it's like,
I don't see him being all scarred up either.
Well, that's the thing, and that's what's going to make a lot of people mad. But I also say keep in mind that going into the new universe, there's probably going to be
another.
Yeah,
almost certainly.
Jasmine's smiling, but she shook her. She has no idea.
What's your cousin tell you now, Jasmine?
Oh my God,
yeah, right.
I don't know.
What's Sadie Sink tell you now?
I'll hit Sadie up again and see what's going on. Jesus, she's like, don't talk to me. We're in Stranger Things mode.
That's a good Michael
spoiler.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, going back to Daredevil briefly because I didn't get a chance to say anything about it. Going and talking about the scene that we did get. There was a level of complexity there that brought
so complex
an actual thickness to the story. Nobody got
hold on.
Out of Matt.
Let me stop you real quick. I'm just going to say, hey guys, we're going to talk spoilers for episode 4 so Chris can really get into it. So we're about done with the stream anyway. So if you want to avoid spoilers, you should bounce now. Thanks for stopping by. Chris, do it. Go full into it.
Well, I was going to say, it's cool because we see those levels of those conversations. He talks to his best friends and they won't bring up Foggy. He talks to the people in his life who knew what happened and it doesn't get mentioned at all. He talks to his pretty intimate girlfriend who's also, works on the mind and knows how to have these conversations, right? And he still barely brings it up. But it isn't until it was the Punisher and Daredevil discussing it that we really got that breakdown. Because maybe it isn't Matt that's as upset as the Daredevil is. Because they are, again, separate personas. And maybe Matt has processed it. And what's holding him back is that Daredevil hasn't been able to.
The Daredevil failed
and you really,
twice in one setting. He failed to save him. And he killed someone. The Daredevil, killed or attempted to kill someone. The Daredevil failed twice in a moment of 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that character hasn't really been able to process it, and the most he's been able to even be Daredevil in the last year or so was when he was having a conversation with Kingpin. So he finally goes out and meets somebody who's going to appreciate what he has to say and gets him to say it by pushing him. He even punches him. He's like, "Don't apologize. Like this is what you need." And it is like a brotherly love moment where there's
that line was so great. He's like,
don't apologize.
I apologize. He's like, that's the first honest thing you've said.
I apologize.
First honest thing you've done today. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But then it ends with like that. That's
go. Yeah.
It just ends with that moment where he's like, he got life, and then he's like, did Foggy get life? And it's like, you can't even argue with that. Like that's his conversation over, and it's like, welcome back, Daredevil. Thank you.
Right.
I'm really excited for the next episode.
But it does kind of make me feel like Foggy is dead. I think that there would have been a different reaction.
I always thought he was. Thought he was.
Well, I mean, the first episode dropping in that spoiler, the comic number, everyone is Foggy dead? Is it still? I think in that moment I was solidified. And I know I just literally had a conversation where I was like, I don't solidify myself because of the emotions. And I'm like 98% sure Foggy is dead.
Yeah. Otherwise, why would it be so dang emotional right there?
Why would I?
But
and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that whole scene is just. Oh, I never uploaded my reaction to it. I uploaded my episode 4 reaction, but I was going to post that part to social media because I am so Frank Castle. I'm like, kill them. No, kill them. No second, no, they've done bad things. They're going to do more bad things. Kill them. And I love Batman, but that's one of the things I'm like, dude, kill the Joker. He kills so many people.
So do you like the Batman with the gun? Is that your favorite iteration?
No, it's really weird in a sense because you have to think about why Batman doesn't kill, right?
This is a conversation for another time.
It's big, right? It's big.
I felt you getting into it. I was like, oh God.
Somebody said I can respect your Snow White more than the movie. Oh snap! But yeah, I mean, so that's another thing. Executive Judge, yeah, Matt heard Foggy's heartbeat stop, and my argument was they could have resuscitated him somehow.
Yeah,
I mean, shot to the heart is
Shot
pretty
to the
hard.
heart.
And you're to blame. I know.
You can't set me up like that, Warren. That's way too.
Yeah, we all did. Yeah, but to me, when he's like, "What is this? Like your next target? You're playing your next kill?" It's like, "You're gosh damn right I am." I was like, "Yes, yes." And then basically from there, he's like, "You're a freaking pansy." He's like, "You don't kill." And guess what? Foggy died because of that. That's basically what he said.
He got life.
What about Foggy? Huh?
Did
Foggy
he
get
get
life? Right, exactly. If you would have killed
Holy crap.
Bullseye, right? If you would have killed Bullseye at the end of season 3, Foggy would be alive right now, and he's 100% right. He's 100% right.
But like, imagine that though. Like, I just want to sit with that for a second. Bullseye got life. This man will always be alive, sitting in a jail cell after he murdered your friend. And you, as the Daredevil, you don't think that there's going to be a moment where he puts the suit back on and just like stands outside of the window and just really thinks about it, just watching, just.
Well, so now this whole part of Daredevil being gone is because he crossed that line, right? He crossed the line.
The
of
line's
trying
already
to kill
crossed.
Bullseye.
The line's crossed.
Yeah, but look what it did to him. It destroyed him.
I think
Daredevil's gone because
not
of it.
choosing one way or another. He went over the line and now he's teetering. I think he needs to pick one way or the other. That's what's killing him.
Well, I think he's back now, right? At the end of the episode, they showed he's back. You know,
I'll see him.
That whole episode. Sorry, what?
No. I will believe it when he's standing on the edge of a building with the.
Oh, I don't think he's gonna kill.
Him.
Right? Yeah, no, he's back as Daredevil for sure. I think after this episode, I don't think he's gonna kill anybody.
Same with Kingpin.
Because it's the Catholic inside of him, right? Like it's not just like the responsibility of the hero, but it's also the damnation of it all as well. And he believes, you know, he says it in the first episode or the second episode, right? And he believes in redemption. You know, and what is it in being saved? What I don't remember what he specifically said. I'm drawing a blank right now. But yeah, I mean, having Frank return and basically this is how I viewed it. You know, it's kind of like you both said. Everyone's kind of being soft around him, and Frank just cuts to the core. Like, let's cut the bull crap.
And that's what you need, man.
Yeah, no, that is like it's 100% what you need. It's almost like, you know, when you have a friend
love. I don't know which one of you.
Right,
said
exactly.
That's, you know, it's
no, it is
it's family.
Well, it's when you have a friend who's just being really, really stupid and like, and there's like the two options that people take. They're like, do I just shower them with love, or do I say, hey, you're being stupid, cut it out?
It's
and everyone else was kind of right. Everyone's kind of showering him with love, but here comes good old Frank just saying what it is, and I'm like,
what it is.
That's exactly.
And those are those humanly bonds that start making people love superheroes when they're 5, because you do recognize on those basic human elements. And when you're running around as a 6-year-old in a Spider-Man outfit, it's because of those connections. And then when we're finally getting those repersonalized or repersonified on the screen again for the first time in a minute, I might add, you're kind of like, yeah, this is it. This is this is the escape that I go to entertainment for. This is me trying to become a better man myself, not to get that deep, but there's truth to that. You know, you can see yourself in that position and you think to yourself, who would be my Frank Castle? Who is somebody I need to be Frank Castle for to help?
I will be anyone's Frank Castle.
We know, but it is that level, and it makes me happy to see that.
Then I need Frank Castle to die.
What?
Hold on, because you guys are all
you. Hold on. No. I'm cutting her off.
The reason I say this is because I'm sitting here and you guys are like, Frank Castle is the guy who's going to tell you like it is. He's the one that's going to set the record straight. And I'm sitting here like, we got Secret Wars and Doomsday coming up. Frank Castle is going to smoke out all the bad guys.
That's not Tony.
That shit a mile away. He literally
like it's Tony just because it looks like Tony. It ain't him.
It ain't him. Like,
your Snow White is no longer valid.
So what do you think? We should just kill this guy? You're goddamn right. We should kill him.
The way I feel like he's gonna be like, I don't care about Foggy. That man's alive. Like,
Jerry, executioner.
I need him to go because there is no story if Frank Castle is around.
Bart says Frank Castle to dye his hair. You mean?
Yeah, right. You know what's funny is Firestar said they liked your Snow White, but after you said Frank Castle needs to die, they said your Snow White is no longer valid.
You didn't let me finish. Anyway,
yeah. Anyways, well, we have to wrap up the stream, guys, because we have to head out here. We have
some of us have places to go. We're not just dressed up Snow White for no reason.
Wait, why am I
do that just to do it?
I would.
Yeah. But thanks everybody for being here. Super appreciate it. This one was really fun, especially right there at the end. We're talking about Frank Castle. There, I would love to see Frank face you.
No way I want that to happen. So Frank Castle has to die. He has to die.
Okay.
Oh my God.
And that was the end of the stream.
I'm clipping all of this.
I'm
clipping it all. But thanks everybody for being here. Sorry this one's short, but we'll be back next week. We'll be back Tuesday and then Thursday once again. So hit the like button and subscribe if you want to join us for our
thanks for subscribing,
shenanigans.
Awesome.
Our shenanigans next time. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Midley. Mildly mercurial. Thank you. Super appreciate that. Thank you, Michael, Cyber, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here, Firestar. Barton, thanks for being here, Cornflakes.
You gotta get Snow White in Grand Theft Auto 6. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Well, on that note, we're gonna end the stream. See you guys. Grand Theft Auto 6.